Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus. I want to thank you so very much for stopping this moment on this post, and I hope you're fed well. I'd like to ask each of you, if you would, to take a journey with me. I had a vision. I was somewhere, and yet it seemed as if I was nowhere, but I was. And all of a sudden appeared before me a world or an earth. I don't know exactly what it is, except I perceive it as being an earth. And I kind of shrink away from world because I think a world might be a little bit larger. But as an earth, a world for those who are on the earth. And I don't see anyone on the earth. All I see is this, what I'm calling an earth. I don't know where it came from. I don't know what it is all about. But as I stare, I begin to see other things. I begin to see stuff that's on the earth, the kind of things that we all see every day. Trees and grass and flowers and fields and lakes and water. And then I see a person, a human being, something similar to me. And I don't see any others. I just see that one person. And I'm assuming it's a man. Again, because it looks like me, structurally. And I see this man having some routines daily. And when I say daily, you know what I mean. It's when the day, the sun is out. And I see this one searching for something, I guess is food. I see him going throughout the day, putting stuff in his mouth, eating. So I think we would call that food. I also see this one doing different things to prepare themselves for when the light goes out and night comes. I see him resting, finding a place to sleep. I see time pass, and I watch this one as he started looking for other things, as if to educate himself about what these different things on earth are about. And I see him discovering different ways to use the different things of the earth. Then one day I look up and I see another person similar to the one that looks like me, but a little bit different. And now I see two people having the same needs, I guess, because the one that was eating is now making sure that the other one eats as well, and all during the day. And I see them both observing stuff as if they are researching to discover what certain things are used for. And time passes. I see some not acting as if they were acting the day before, other times pass, but maybe a little tired or worn, and look like he's getting care from the other. Could that possibly be a form of health care? What I see is what one person had to do all during this period of observation apparently was necessary to maintain daily existence. Now I see two of them, twice as much as required now as before, and yet they are both involved, and at the same time they're doing different things. to accomplish as much as required, but not having to do everything by yourself. Wow. Time passes, then I see an add-on. I guess that's family. Well, now there's still more work involved, more duties involved, more responsibilities involved. And for a moment in time, I see the two having to kind of spice it up a little bit to make up for the one that can. But time passes and I see the one that couldn't now can, and put his hand to the plow and helping each of us out. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, what I'm saying to you is this. I have something that's worth dying for. And that is a piece of understanding. I don't know everything. I don't know a lot about little things. But I do know something about what I'm talking about. And I just wasn't given the inspiration. I wasn't just given the vision. I was instructed to go around the country, to exercise certain principles, to notate, keep a record. And the subject would be on the road to hell. I have been given all of the evidence to give to you that it might help you answer your prayers. I have taken the experience that I have been given and I look at all of society. I know how we have been trained. And all of that training came to us in different kinds of ways, and it has had different impacts on us that seems to be so different than some of the impacts that others have. They are similar to many, but there are differences as well. And yet they all are created from the same type of source. And they are all of the same sustenance. And they are relative to the problems of today. So when I come to you and talk to you, I'm talking to you about what I have experienced just like you experience every day. The difference is that that power that was able to manifest the earth in my imagination, in my vision, was able to employ powers that were not able to be identified, but the action was. Which is a statement to me about the power that created the earth, that stood and performed miracles before me. That I don't have to play games with you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you, we are special. Human beings are special. You are made by a power you cannot see. Yes, you came through a birth tunnel, but that birth tunnel was created by a power that none of us knew anything about and yet use. And we are here to be instruments of love, instruments of that power that we cannot see, to do good, to create, just like this earth we're standing on. Just like the cars, the vehicles, the satellites, the ships, all of that is creation of God through man. And that is just limited to small stuff. I mean, there are guys that you and I hear about on the internet, YouTube, and we just freak that they are so smart, much smarter than us. But that doesn't mean that God prepares something more grateful for them than the man who has no home. No, my friends. God prepared that we should live here on earth. Those who are very, very smart, use that smartness for those who are not. And those that are dumb, very, very dumb, use some of that dumbness for some of those who are so smart at a time when they should be dumb. We can borrow some dumbness from the bottom. And we all need each other. So what I'm saying to you is this. That power that made us prepared. I'm saying this 1,000 times. I'm so tired of saying it because it's on every video I'm making. And if I got 1,000, I'm saying it over 1,000 times. And if you go from video to video of mine, you're going to hear it on there. Made this whole earth, prepared that this earth would be equipped, providing everything that any living source on this earth can have access to it. And that every living thing on this earth require usually basically the same things to survive. I don't care whether you're a snake, amoeba, I don't care what you are. You need something to eat. It doesn't make any difference. Those things to live require certain things. And that power made sure that it happened. Now, ladies and gentlemen, part of the stuff that we have been trained in just makes it very complicated for us to respond in certain kind of ways that are different than those we've been programmed to do. And sometimes when we come into an enlightenment, we have to start walking in that enlightenment, which causes us to do things that appear to be abnormal to those who are still in normalcy. And the challenge will come for you to jump back in the mainstream because you're way out there. And yet you're out there because you're trying to take the nation somewhere. So what am I saying to you, ladies and gentlemen? I'm saying to you, a change has got to come. And it's going to come by you being the instruments of it. You're not going to get this change from those who have trained you to be who you are, like you are. This training is going to come from a force that you can't see. But it will be there because you want it to be there. You have faith that it will be there. And this stuff, my friends, what you heard about someone saying that you are better and you deserve more and all of that than others, and what that major role plays in dividing and conquering as we have been. The truth of the matter is, my friends, that if you need evidence of the weakness and the subordination of anything to the powers that be, you don't need anything any more than what we got that we're being tested with today. Coronavirus. Coronavirus. They say it's spreading across the world, spreading across the globe, everywhere. And you got these big mighty men who have wanted to be God themselves. And they don't want anything that they can't control attached to them. So when you hear them talking about a virus, they want to make sure that you know it came from Russia, or it came from China, or it came from somewhere else. It definitely did not come from here. Because here I am, and I am the greatest. It doesn't matter whether it's Putin, whether it's Trump, or whether it's T, or somebody else. They are each are saying that they are the greatest. But you know what, ladies and gentlemen? However great they are, this corona, it can wipe out every human being on the face of the earth. And not one of these great men or women or great countries or great forms of government, great systems can do anything about it if that choice is made by the powers that be. The powers that be, and I'm not talking about humans. I'm talking about that power you can't see. And what could you do about it? You just fall like flies wherever it grabs you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Now think about this. You have put your life, existence, You put everything that you are about in this human power that are struggling right now, hoping that they have gotten the research together, that they've made the necessary tests, that they will be able to take advantage of this occasion to say that yesterday they weren't wasting their times being political, but they were taking care of business, preparing for the safety of the people for the future, in the future, at such a times as now. Wasting time, playing games, who's better, who's no good, when in order for us to be any good, we must all be good. And so I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, there is one, though, that can stop this coronavirus. You can't see that power, but it is able. So why in the world would we not trust this power and put our faith in a power that we know? You see, even President Trump has quieted down now. He acts like he's a little scared because whatever he tried to claim to be, he can't claim to be the controller of this. Wave his magic wand and it goes away. He predicted that it would. Just be cool and in a day or two it'll be gone. That's what he said. But there was no power in those words. I guess if he ever thought there were, he'd recognize now that there isn't. And so he acts scared. And all of you, you don't really know. I know you're trying to be bold because there have been other sicknesses and other diseases that come by this way and you didn't pay any attention because you didn't have any way to deal with it anyway. So you didn't stress yourself. And the next thing you know, it had passed on. And so you're hoping that the same thing happens now. But I'm asking you to consider if it didn't. So let's just pray, hope that it passes on. But let us take advantage of this opportunity, of the lessons that we've learned. Ladies and gentlemen, I know as long as we got something, we think we don't need others. I know that. I was 28 years old when I took this mission, accepted this mission. I'm over 70 now. And I have been not working. I have not been paying bills. I have watched my driveway, my steps all cracking, falling in. Why am I doing that? Because I'm trying to use that as motivation to give me the energy to stand up over all of this fear, over all this shameness that exists on this society that keeps people sitting back not doing nothing, and they always want to blame the weaker people. They always want to blame the weaker thing. I don't have what I need to do this, so I blame the weakest. But there's something bigger than that. But you never blame that. You only blame the weakest. And as long as you keep on blaming the weakest, you're not going to get anything done. Now you think I like my house falling apart? It is my duty and my responsibility to make sure that it doesn't. My wife was not given this vision. So she works her butt off, trying to make sure, just like you, that every time a bill comes, it gets paid. And I'm out here busting my butt trying to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that God has a better plan. He can stop this coronavirus from ever coming back again. Trump can't. Republicans can't. Democrats can't. Americans can't. So why don't we put our faith in God? Look, I came out one day. I planned on conquering the world. Working at the Veterans Administration, I planned on being the director pretty soon. But I woke up. That doesn't mean I'm still nobody because I woke up. I woke up to a bigger challenge. You don't see it. I understand that. But I also know that when you have access to food and clothing and shelter and you never have to worry about it, that's special. I know when you got access to education, unlimited, unrestricted for everybody, for you. Now that includes everybody. That's a beautiful thing. When you don't have to worry about health care from the womb to the tomb, that's a beautiful thing. Whenever you need to do research or whatever your action needs to be taken to prepare you and make you better at whatever it is at the state that you find yourself in, when all you need is motivation to move, and you move, that's a beautiful state to be in. You don't need to. Why are you going to somebody asking for some money? I can't do this research because I don't have the money. Does that sound like God? Does that sound like a God that you want to serve? Now, you've heard that black people have said that they are the original people. So I ask you, does that make you any more special than your mother or your father's oldest child? Are you any more special than the last born? I don't think so. And if you got any special qualities that you have acquired because you have been here longer, what is it for? It is for the benefit of the family that's coming, not for you to take advantage of them. Now, I know the conversation that I'm saying to you right now turns a lot of your stomachs. I don't care if it does turn a lot of your stomachs. I'm telling you something. I'm walking the streets because I have sacrificed so I can feel this pain, so I can know what I'm talking about. I don't have a car to drive. I used to, but I don't anymore. Why? Because cars cost money, and I don't have any money. Is that the same reason you guys don't have cars? I don't have a place I can lay my head and just relax. Why? Because I don't have money. Isn't that the same reason you got? So if somebody comes up and say, okay, my pain, I'm going to extend that here and stand up and fight for all of us, and I hope you come and join with us. If you don't, that don't mean I got to throw in the towel. What I'm basically trying to tell you this, ladies and gentlemen, I'm tired. I've been through one life. I've been through a marriage that couldn't survive the system in which we're living in. I'm in another marriage I've been into for 36 years. My wife been hoping that you wake up. You know, I realize you're scared. But see, God doesn't work like that. When we recognize that we're going to make this change, we make plans. We strategize it. And when the turn is just like the president moving out of office and another one moving in, it's like same thing. One system moving out and another system moving in. That's the system that I'm standing up for. When I go down that ground, I want to go down knowing that everybody, I don't care if you know it or not, in my heart, I stood up for everybody that's suffering. No, I might not have just stood up for me. When I stood up, maybe if I stood up for me and me alone, maybe my suffering wouldn't have been there. But I stood up for more than just me. And my suffering didn't go anywhere. But I'd rather go down knowing that I fought the battle for all of us, just like I want you to fight the battle for me, rather than just giving up and saying you don't matter. Ladies and gentlemen, I just got a chest pain, so I'm going to close out right now. And I'm going to talk to you later. Thank you. Goodbye.